Welcome back, YouTube, to the Cutlass Board Games channel, and we are back on this challenge again. Last time, before set rotation, we created a deck with a goal was to draw our entire deck on our first turn, and we're back trying to do it again. This time, we've got a couple of different tools, and we're running on a different kind of draw engine to try and get there. Last time, we were using Galarian Articuno. We had stuff like Pyukumuku. These have all rotated. So we're going to go through the new list and then we're going to try and win a game this way. So first one is Squawkabilly. This is probably the easiest one. You're only ever going to have your first turn, so you don't have the downside of this, but you get to draw 6 cards. We've then got Zamazenta V, which is basically the same thing, but it lets you draw 5 cards, but it ends your turn. So you can use Squawkabilly in the middle of your turn, and Zamazenta has to end your turn. So you want it to be the last 9 cards where this activates. I'll get to why that is in a second. Next is Mew. If I can empty out my hand every single time, I can draw 3 cards, which is pretty good, and I can have a whole bunch of them in play. Whereas Squawkabilly is once, Zamazenta ends the turn, and our next one, Great Tusk EX, is at the end of the turn. After Zamazenta ends the turn, Quaking Demolition gets us 5 more cards out of the deck. So our goal is to get down to 9. We have this one extra dude, Ditto. So Ditto, if we can activate it, the downside of Ditto is this is only during your first turn, but we only have 1 turn, so we don't have this downside. And we get to discard Ditto and swap it out with a basic Pokemon from our deck. And we can use 2 of them, basically. The first one, we get Mew. Mew then retreats into the Ditto, and then the Ditto goes and gets Great Tusk, which gets 2 cards out of our deck. So that's pretty good value. Next is the energy. We're just playing some. It's playing 5. They don't do anything in particular. Just 5 energy because we have Earthen Vessel. And Earthen Vessel, being able to pull energy out of the deck, eats cards out of the deck. This is something that we did have in the last one, and it does help quite a bit. But let's go through some of the other stuff that we've got. We've got 4 Delivery Drone. Flip 2 coins. If both of them are heads, I get to search my deck for a card. With this one, you don't care if it fails. If it succeeds 1 time, you go and get something that is important, set it up, and then everything else is irrelevant. Switch card is entirely to make sure that Great Tusk can get into the active, because it needs to be in the active for Quaking Demolition to activate. And that's really the main hurdle sometimes. If this is prized, maybe I'll be in trouble. Otherwise, Mew has a free retreat, and I can potentially retreat into the Great Tusk. Otherwise, if Zamazenta is in the active, I can't attach retreat. However, if Squawkabilly is in the active, I can attach retreat. So there is a bit of stuff going on, but we'll get there. Trekking Shoes is great. You discard the top card of your deck and then draw a card, unless if that top card was really important. Hisuian Heavy Ball, because we're playing a bunch of critical one-offs, we don't want them to be prized. We want to be able to go and get them. And the other thing is that any of these items, if you play them and it fails and does nothing, it doesn't add a card to your hand. That's fine, because it means you keep a low hand size for Mew to be able to activate and draw your cards. We're playing 1 Pokestop. We just hope that it's not prized. 4 Ultra Ball, help get all of our guys out. 4 Lure Module, which kind of does the same thing. It's like in the same way that the drone might just do nothing. If Lure Module maybe does something, then that's like a lot of value. Master Ball to guarantee that we'll be able to set up. None of the other A-specs do anything relevantly. And you can just miss to keep your hand size low. Pokegear is going to miss most of the time, but we only ever want to play 1 supporter, which is Professor's Research, because that will get us 7 cards. Then we have Gutsy Pickaxe, which is kind of basically the same as the Trekking Shoes. It just kind of draws us 1 card. Forest Steelstone, because we have the Zamazenta V, we can do that to go and get the Pokestop, maybe go and guarantee that we draw the Research. And then Nest Ball, because we have no entrance effects, really. We just need to get everything into play. So that's kind of how the deck is. I know it's going to seem a bit confusing looking at it just like this, but we're going to try and play it, and we're going to try and draw our entire deck on the first turn. Okay, I get to choose, which means we're not immediately out of the game because we need to go second to be able to play a supporter. So now we need to watch our opponent not stop us from winning the game. Okay, we've got Mew. Mew lead is very good because it has free retreat. And it means we can nest ball into a Ditto, or retreat into the Ditto, go and get our task. Putting Fluttermane in the active would have been really bad. So I hope that doesn't happen. No. They had it in their opening as well. They could have just led with that instead of the Ralphs. So I'm not quite sure why they've done this, but that's okay. Please don't retreat. Oh. Pass. Just pass. just pass. Come on. He's totally gonna buy. Come on. Yes! Alright, we're still in it. We're still in it. Because if this hits the active, we lose the game. Okay, first thing we're going to do is get our Ditto out of the deck. We're then going to free retreat into the Ditto. Ditto is going to go and get our Great Tusk because it must be in the active. We will then bench Mew, bench Squawkabilly. I don't need to attach the energy for anything, so we can just be happy to discard that. Let's go Trekking Shoes. Excellent. That's our first Professor. Delivery Drone. We miss. That's fine. We only need one Professor, so getting the other Professors out of the deck is good. I have the option of attaching the energy and then Mew for 2, but I'm going to try and greed and get a full 3 later. This Ditto is not going to activate, so we're going to discard it. Discard it with the energy. And we'll go and get Zamazenta, because we need Zamazenta. And then the last card on our bench is going to be Mew. Switch card is not going to do anything for us, so I might lure module first. We miss. They get a Jirachi. That's fine. Delivery Drone misses. That's fine. Trekking Shoes. Yes, I want to put this card in my hand. I'm going to get 2 energy out of the deck. I'm then going to Squawkabilly. Trying to save my Mews for as long as possible. I don't think this hits. Good. I'm then going to Nest Ball, get a Mew. We play the Pokestop. Pickaxe gets a Nest Ball. Both of those cards are unplayable. I'm going to miss on the Mew. Because either I get Mew out of the deck or I draw 3 cards with Mew. So it's having the dead Mew card in hand is less helpful. We're down to 20. We hit a Seal Stone, that could be good. Here's a Lure Module that misses. Misses both of us, that's fine. I'm going to draw 2 cards with a Mew. Where's Pokegears? Miss, that's fine. We got 1. Awesome. I'm then going to very carefully Star Alchemy. I think Ultra Ball is the choice here. Because that will empty our hand and we can Mew again. I don't even want to draw the Mew. Just miss. Draw 3 cards. Okay. So you get Trekking Shoes. I do not want to put this in my hand. I want to drop that one, apparently. This is fine, we win. We win now, because we go Pokestop, we lose 3 cards in the deck. Playing them is irrelevant. I think there's no energy left in the deck anyway, but we'll check. No. That's fine. We then go end our turn, discard our hand, draw 5 cards, and then Quaking Demolition will get rid of the last 2. And that's it. We did it. We drew our entire deck on our first turn. Now, in the requests on the last video was we should wait and see what our opponent does. Because they don't actually need to do anything. They can just pass the turn and win. So, how much... them wasting a bunch of time is kind of funny to me. But they didn't emote or anything. I'm just going to shoot them a thumbs up. And I'm going to not edit this video. You can see that. This is first attempt. I didn't miss on the coin. I didn't have to reset a bunch of times. This is the first attempt. Wait, hang on. Cliffhanger. He's putting cards back in my deck. Not quite. If my hand size was bigger, that would have been funnier. And then I would have had to have tried again. But no, we're all good. We're all safe. And that's kind of it for this video. The point is to have a look at and assess just exactly how you can best use card advantage in the game. And how that potentially compares to other games and stuff that you could have played and get an idea of what's going on. This one was a fun design challenge to make a deck. We started off with the Great Tusk, and then realized that Zemazenza plus the Great Tusk worked. Because, I reached out to some homies in the kitchen and put together a few things. Doing the whole Mew engine was interesting. I had not started there. But I did have the Tusk, and I had a bunch of different things that were kind of working. But big grand reveal, your deck run out of cards. Good game, sir. And hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we can do more goofy stuff like this in the future. So hopefully I'll see you around for that.